El dinero me llueve, me da diablo que aguacero. En la cuenta un par de ceros y empezamos desde cero. Ey. Y eso que soy un grosero. Ey. Que se joda, soy sincero. Y si mañana me muero, ya estoy acostumbrado a estar siempre en el cielo. Ey.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Swiss Silva, and I'm back. With a new rebranding. Yes, this channel is now called Bronnywood Hoops. One of the best names I've ever came up with, and I'm planning to keep it that way. And let's get right to the new video. Jimmy Butler. Is Jimmy Butler the completion, the last piece of the process? We will see this as it goes by, but right now, here is my view on the whole trade. Now, let's keep in mind that we thought that Minnesota won that Jimmy Butler deal. We thought Minnesota was the winner of that trade that they made even less than a season ago, even less than a year ago. We thought that they won it. There was no discussion. People thought that the Timberwolves robbed the Bulls just because Zach LaVine was an above-average starter, just because Chris Dunn had a bad rookie year. And even though Chris Dunn hasn't panned out the way that Chicago has intended him to do, Zach LaVine is an all-star. Let's look at that. First of all, let's look at that. Let's look at another trade that happened around that time. People thought that Oklahoma robbed Indiana when they traded Victor Oladipo and Sabonis for Paul George. People thought that they had robbed them, and look at that. Victor Oladipo's playing better than Paul George has played in Oklahoma. And we thought that the Oklahoma City Thunder were a title contender with that Carmelo Anthony trade. Not, because Carmelo Anthony right now is in the cliffhanger. We don't know what's going to happen with Carmelo. That's just to get you into this trade. That in the last year, trades have been very, very lopsided and have turned out to be more even than we thought. So this trade, Robert Covington and Dario Saric to Minnesota, might be what the Timberwolves need, because they need some players. They need good players. Saric with Karl-Anthony Towns might turn into a Twin Towers combo, and Robert Covington might become that starter at small forward that they needed if Wiggins decides to, leave in the future, that he probably will. But yeah, let's discuss this Jimmy Butler trade. The Philadelphia 76ers traded Dario Saric, Jared Bayless, and Robert Covington with a 2022 second round pick for Jimmy Butler and Justin Patton from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, this trade, again, might look lopsided, but let's break it down. Now, Jimmy Butler, even though on paper, Ben Simmons, Embiid, and Jimmy Butler could be a championship team in 2K. They could be a championship team on any league. But let's look at what we have. Jimmy Butler is a very ball-dominant player, as is Ben Simmons. And even though Joel Embiid is a center, he usually uses the ball a lot, more than any other center. Not more than any other center, but he uses the ball a lot. It's very weird, because Jimmy Butler went from a team that he complained, they didn't have the work ethic, they didn't have the chemistry, they didn't have the maturity, they were always, they weren't practicing hard. But Ben Simmons, he's very good friends with Karl-Anthony Towns. He might be the same, so it might be Jimmy Butler's fault. We don't know. And remember, is it the final piece of the puzzle? Is it what the 76ers, what they need? I'm not sure. Because Jimmy Butler, yeah, he's a good scorer, but he uses the ball a lot, and that's a problem because Ben Simmons is the point guard there. But Jimmy Butler has never been a spot-up shooter. Jimmy Butler is a player that needs some touches to work, kind of like Carmelo. and kind of like Embiid, they're not spot up shooters. And when you have Jimmy Butler, who is such a ball dominant player, it might not work out. But don't panic yet. We haven't even seen him play. But again, Jimmy Butler has to come in and face the fact and accept the fact that Ben Simmons is going to be the face of that offense. Jimmy Butler is going to be the third option because Embiid is still the process, still, one of the faces of that franchise. Jimmy Butler isn't going to be dominating any team anytime soon unless he moves to the Nets. Because Jimmy Butler, even though he's a good player, he's not going to have that team for his own. Because if he moves to the Lakers, come on, let's face it, there's a lot of guys that are in front of him. If he moves to, OKC, that's the same problem. Jimmy Butler isn't that kind of guy that you can build a team around. We saw it in Minnesota. He likes work ethic, so it's a matter of who can give in first. In terms of offensive play style, it's going to be very interesting because I'm not expecting how the Lakers are running the offense. I don't expect it to happen that way because, again, LeBron James is a playmaker. Lonzo Ball is a playmaker. Rondo is a playmaker. They look for plays for others, but it's not the same case because Jimmy Butler looks for plays for himself, looks to create offense, but we will see how it goes. As in for Minnesota, they are going nothing but up. All they need to do is fire Thibodeau. Thibodeau is not going to help them. Saric and Karl Anthony Towns is going to be a very, very, very big duo in a couple of years. Bet, you heard it here first. Simmons and Butler might be a very good duo, but I think right now Minnesota won that deal. Fight me on this, but I think Minnesota's going to win this deal in the long run because too much stars in one team is not going to win you any championships unless you're Golden State, but they had a natural collection. You don't just get a couple of stars and throw them in a team and just win a championship. I think Minnesota's going to win this one in the long run, and that's it. Yeah. So thanks for watching my return video, quote unquote. I got motivated to do this off the video I made almost a year ago. It has almost 2,000 views. It's not a lot, but for me it is. And either way, I just wanted to do this. I wanted to come back. So expect more videos coming on soon. And by the way, please follow me at those Instagrams below at BronnyWoodPR and at El Javi Mixes. I appreciate every like, every view this video gets. God bless and have a nice day.